always repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Hebrew Israelite isn't a hate group. We follow the laws, no matter the cause. That don't mean we hate you. They warring with us like Hussein do. Then they try to blame us like it ain't you. Got the demons posing like they angels. Yeah, I gotta go deep like the bass do. In the beginning was good and evil. Now we all at the end, it's the same two. When the Most High not playing with y'all too. Yeah, he about to come down like the rain do. He gon' baptize the world in a flame pool. And that waterproof like his rain shoes. Crisis break out, can it save you? And I hope y'all repent cause you can't shoot. Stop. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Praise to the Elohim of Elohims. I feel the energy enter me. That is a heavenly remedy. So-called family turn enemy. It get cold like antifreeze. Their hearts seem to be 10 degrees. They only bless you when you sneeze. Give me 100 feet like centipedes. I be repenting, Father please. Your grace sufficient, it gotta be. You and the angels, they proud of me. I don't use Twitter, but they follow me. Second Esdras, gotta read. R.I.P. to Maccabees. The end is coming. Wanna see? No defenses, only heat, shalom. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned, and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people that have sinned against thee.
Hallelujah. Blessed and highly favored. I love myself as well as my neighbor. Enjoy peace and love, yet I'm nothing to play with. Y'all running with the latest, what I believe is sacred. Our Father in heaven gave us eyes to see, to make distinctions between the psyops and the prophecies. I'm from a place where they downplay your atrocities, give you milk and cheese and never pay the proper fees. My brother's trying to calm the beast by copping pleas, but the only place the beast want the sheep is in his teeth. Father, forgive them for they know not what they do, but don't mistake, that's for the sheep who fell away, that's not for you, a wolf knows. He ain't in the dark about his plans, he coming for the flock, he want that blood on his hands, wants your throat not to breathe. In the lake of fire, he wants you to go beneath, praying on you until your flesh, he wants you to sow a seed. Deferred hope maketh the heart sick, yeah, Satan love it when you deceive. Disparaging remarks about our heritage and false narratives that said there's no merit to what we read, man. That gaslight like a flashlight. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Y'all need to get that bag right. Wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. One hell of a ticket, pun intended, don't you say I cussed. We've been through enough, 400 plus. Our time is up, take off these cuffs. I've been in repentance for this lust, not with the porn, but I can swipe up an image and feel disgust. What? They think I'm tripping cause I want more for myself, so that even in my thoughts I'm not whoring myself, yeah. Luring myself away from righteousness with my desire. My right hand mislead me, cut it off like Michael Myers. Life is easy, it's just complicated by these liars. Truth is confiscated, to get it you need the God of Zion. They confuse the sheep with disbelief and self-reliance. Took the Father's name off creation and blamed the science. Hebrews never boarded but still became compliant. Mission aborted, some of us refuse to slay this giant. That talking head should be severed off and dead. Bring us Pentecost instead, let's start speaking with tongues of fire. Ain't wanna preach to us, now the preaching coming from the choir. Y'all too corporate, tell me how does the preacher retire? I see y'all done bought the lies and y'all receipt expired. From the Holy Spirit, I don't never want no peace and quiet. The sheep hear the word of the most majestic, wonderful counselor, blessed voice of the shepherd. Meanwhile, all of the goats are disconnected, lawless, trading the promise of the blessed for a death wish.
All right, shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom is Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. We have a good show for you today, as you can tell by the title. We're talking about fighting for your blessings, okay? What we're gonna really be getting into and focusing on today is, you know, why a lot of people seem to be stuck and constantly wrestling with things to no avail, or so they think. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna delve into that, and one of the things we're gonna try to do is expose this deceptive, false understanding of what the word is really saying. That is this deceptive, false understanding that's perpetuated by the Greco-Roman Catholic beast system, the mother of harlots, and like I said, her daughters, these religions out here that claim to be following, or that claim to be obedient to what this word says. And at the end of the day, we know Satan is behind it all, trying to subtly upset the work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what we're talking about is fighting for your blessings. A lot of y'all have heard me hit on a lot of this stuff before, but we're gonna tie it in pretty tightly. Me and the brothers here, we talked about the same topic a couple days ago, and you know, it's like, because of the deception of fake religions that claim to follow the Bible, the way they deceive people, they have you think, hey, oh, you just pray for something, and it's like a genie in the movie Aladdin, where you just make a wish and he just fulfills it and blah, 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 like that. But then when you read through the word, it's something totally different. That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Things operate in a totally different way, and there's plenty of examples of it all throughout the word. So we have to, you know, we have to be aware of that. Let me check my audio, because I think I can make my audio better. Let me see. No, that's as good as it's gonna get. Okay, but I imagine it's pretty good. But anyway, so what we see out here in the world, and just in the short period of time I've been, you know, awake and aware and paying attention to what's going on in society, which like I woke up to this. I'm 47 now. I woke up and saw this at the age at about the age of 26. So it was about 20 years ago, or whatever. But what I woke up and saw is just the how there's an agenda, particularly perpetuated against men, and focus the most in the black community among black men. There is an agenda, and they have ramped it up recently. You know, as time goes on, you see it increase. But there's an agenda to basically encourage men to be timid. Okay? There is an agenda. Whether you look in the movies, whether you look on TV, whether no matter where you look, whether you look in the so-called church, whether you look in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, whether you look in the home, when you look at women's mindsets, like everything is programming people or programming this society to have timid men. And nowhere is it more pronounced than in the black community. In marriages and relationships, you name it. So what's the definition of being timid? It's showing a lack of courage or confidence, easily frightened. Okay? And you know, it was literally like Neo in the Matrix when it was at the age of about 26. And I was in a lot of areas in my life, I was very timid. On the surface, I would try to act like I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? But in a lot of areas, I was. And I knew it. But I also knew that I didn't know what to do too. You know, I knew something was off, but it was so big I couldn't even wrap my mind about what it was. But I knew something wasn't right. And I also knew what I saw growing up, going through high school, going in the military and stuff like that, where, you know, I had known men who had killed themselves and just seen all types of crazy things happen in people's relationships, men and women alike. Watched people lose their minds and go crazy. And yeah, you know, all because at the end of the day now, being older, wiser is tied into being timid. And you know how we do here on Spiritual Combat, we get all the meat off the bone. We don't say a bunch of vague terms and these spiritual terms. Oh yeah, just be holy and righteous. It's like, no, we're going to break it down because there's a lot of confusion out here. And people aren't getting, and things need to be broken down in to a granular level, because what do they say? The devil is in the details. So we got to make sure all the details are laid out, okay? So that Satan can't get up in there, and there can't be any confusion, because the Most High is not the author of confusion, but the mother of harlots and her daughters are. And that is these so-called religions that claim to follow the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. They actually do the exact opposite of what it says. And in that, what we've been breeding in our society is timid men. And like I said, particularly in the black community. Okay. Um, what I wrote here is the world doesn't care if you're weak. It doesn't care. The world does not care if you're weak. It will gobble you up. It will take someone who loves you to toughen you up. Someone who truly loves you and truly gets it and truly has wisdom. They're not going to say, oh, you poor weak thing. It'll be okay. No. If you're a man, because people are accustomed to receiving timid, feminine love. And there's nothing wrong with feminine love. It's soft, it's gentle, it's nurturing, and all that stuff like that. But a man's love is tough, stern. Come on, man, snap out of it. Get your stuff there. It's not making excuses for you, and it's getting you to stand up and protect yourself from the attack you might be under, or if you're standing on the train tracks, it's gonna yank you off. It don't care how you feel about it. You know, that's a more masculine love. And in order to survive and have life more abundantly in this wicked ass world we live in, you need the masculine love, because there's a extreme deficit of it out there. And I'm telling you, man, we're going to get into this real good. Matter of fact, hold on. Hold on one sec. Okay, and we're gonna get into that too. But it's when you look all through the book, you know, you see that, look, being timid is a sin. It's off. It's weak. It's what causes the curses to continue going from generation to generation to generation. It's why a lot of men, they can't change. They just don't know why they can't change. And I realized this, and I had this kind of epiphany today. Now, I always kind of understood this, but I really clarified it today. And that's a lot. The epiphany is a lot of men, a lot of men have never, or let's say a lot of males have never experienced what it takes to overcome obstacles or to accomplish things. And therefore, they just go through life being mediocre in everything they encounter. You know what I'm saying? They've never been, like, they have been raised timidly, so that when some type of pain comes or discomfort, they've been programmed to just stop and back down. You don't, if it's uncomfortable, you don't do it. And they've been programmed that way, partially by the sorcery and witchcraft of this society, through the media, through their governmental policies and all this stuff like that, through a lot of these men, because there was an attack launched against the family back in the 60s and 70s, and that goes on to this day, to get the man out of the house. So a lot of these men been raised by women or in women-dominated homes. So they've never have been, pushed to develop confidence. Again, it's an agenda to be raised timidly. And like I said, I had this realization back at the age of 26. I said, if I don't do something, because I've experienced like breakups and crazy stuff in marriages and relationships. I've watched the lives of men who just go down, just live a whole life of just slow death. Just no, or what they call quiet desperation or whatever, and not control their reality. And just, I've watched the thing unfold through many people's lives where they just kind of, their life was a fart in the wind, literally. That's what their whole life was. And, you know, at the age of 26, I was like, hey, I got a decision to make here. I could either go down this path that I know where it is. It's like the Matrix. You go down this path, you know what you're going to get. Or go this route and go to war and fight and figure this thing out. And I chose go down the path of war to fight and figure this thing out. And at the time, I was going to a sun worship center, otherwise known as a church. I was going to this church. They weren't hitting on nothing. They was speaking all that sugary, sweet, vague, you know, Christian talk. Like, oh, you gotta love them, and you just gotta be holy. And they're not breaking anything down. And there's all types of wickedness going on around there, and you trying to get understanding, but stuff is so vague, you can take it any type of way, but they're subtly pushing you to be a pansy, little fairy running around, you know what I'm saying? There ain't no real, they ain't banging on no real truth. So, you know, kept it, you know, I kept it, I stepped out of there. I said, I'm done with this. I'm going to go figure this thing out on my own. So I went out there, I started studying worldly wisdom, which was half-truths, and just through a process began to figure it out because I could see death approaching with the route I was going. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the world, it doesn't care if you're weak. Just like the water does not care if you drown. But it will drown you. Or you can float on it. Or it can hydrate you. You see what I'm saying? Or it could bathe you, have a comfortable bath. You know what I'm saying? But the water doesn't care. Life doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? The Most High does care. And the Most High shows you how to use the water. So the Most High shows you how to use life. You see what I'm saying? That's what we trying to bring down, bring out here and break down. So it says, Hebrews chapter 12. No, we're not going to go with that right now. Hold on. We're going to read 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. It says, for God have not given us the spirit of fear. And a lot of this is driven by fear. That was actually part of the definition of being timid. This is why a lot of people don't want to get outside their comfort zone because they fear being uncomfortable. Okay? It says, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Okay? So when you look up the definition of power, it says, these are some definitions, good definitions I found for it. Ability to do or act. Capability of doing or accomplishing something. The power of something is the ability that it has to move or affect things. So it says the Most High hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but he gave us a spirit of power and of love and a sound mind. Now look at this. What is a sound mind? A more specific or accurate meaning of the word is self-control, self-discipline, or prudence. And what does prudence mean? Acting with or showing care and thought for the future. So when you see these people who are stagnant, they've been wrestling with the same spirits and the same issues for years, you know what's going on. That's Satan operating in them. I used to be like, yo, I done rebuked, like, this is the, 300 and how many times I've rebuked this dude? And he's still doing the same thing? And it used to perplex me. I'm like, what the heck? And it's simple. And you'll see it all through the book when you really read the word and apply it practically to what you see going on around you in life. So it's like you see these people and they just like endlessly wrestling with disobedience and you name it, rebellion. They wrestling with it like they trying to wrestle their way out of a plastic bag or something. And the scripture hits it. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but he gave us a spirit of power. So this is power to change the situation or whatever you're wrestling with. You have that power. The Holy Spirit gives you that power. Reading his word shows you the way. Like everything is right there. So why are people wrestling? Because they got the spirit of timidity. And that simply means being timid. A spirit of timidity upon them. Where they they wrestling with that thing. No matter how much rebuke, boom, 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 boom. It's somewhere in there, they want that. That's what they want. They made a choice. Okay? A sound mind and memory means the person has sufficient mental capacity to understand their actions. You see what I'm saying? Some people don't have a sound mind. But the check engine lights are going off everywhere around them, whether it's the situations they're in their life, it's what people are saying to them, you name it. They're getting warnings. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 26 and 27. It says, in the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is the foundation of life, to depart from the snares of death. So we got to cling in obedience to his word. And we really got to have a sound mind to see how beneficial being obedient to his word is. Not our feelings, not our emotions, not our fears. You see what I'm saying? But again, people have a timid spirit. And what I said here is, when you timid, you ain't about fighting. But I said you got to fight for a blessing. It doesn't just happen magically. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 4. Ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And again, I see a lot of people, man, as soon as the temptation come, as soon as their feelings get going, everything else goes out the window. You could throw everything else out the window. As soon as they feelings get going and they get in their body, they get in their feelings, the word goes out the window, everything. They worshiping and obedient to whatever that emotion is. That spirit, whatever it is. They don't know how to resist. They don't know how to fight. All right. What does fear feel like? Like, fear don't always feel like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always feel like that. Sometimes when fear feels like it, no, I don't want to do that. I'm making an excuse. Even though you know you need to, you know it's biblical and all that, it's, you know. And the reality is, growth, the only way you're going to grow is going through the pain. No pain, no gain. You ain't going to gain nothing if you don't go through the pain. But if you're timid and you're afraid of pain and discomfort and all this stuff, hence the reason why you see some people, they just stay the same. No growth, no development. But when you need to grow, when an area has been identified and you know it in your spirit, hey, I need to grow and develop here. And you see a lot of people that's grown so accustomed to being timid, they're like, oh yeah, I know. I need to change there. I know I need to get it right. You know. It's like, yeah, but how long you gonna put it off? Again, hey y'all, look, we saw a brother get took out. Here in our assembly here, brother got took out, dead, because he wasn't fighting. He wasn't willing to go to war and fight for his blessing, for his growth, for his development. Jacob wrestled God for his blessing. He fought for his blessing. Wrestled all night. And apparently, he wasn't no slouch. Let's read it. Jacob chapter 1. Okay? Where are we going to start at? Yeah, we're going to start at 1. We're going to probably read to about 9. It said, now after the... Well, no, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Wrong verse. That was the wrong... Genesis 32. We're going to start at 24. All right. It said, and Jacob was left alone. And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw, so this is when Jacob saw, or when the man saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Okay, so apparently he knew some jujitsu or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. Okay? And I read a little note. It said, he was saying, as a prince of God, Jacob, you have prevailed against me. So it reads that way, like in the Hebrew. But anyway, it says, and Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it thou that doest ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Okay? So he wrestled God for his blessing. He didn't just cower down, he wrestled for his blessing. And said, you bless me. It required action. You don't believe that? You don't believe me? Let's go read what I was getting ready to read before. And that's Joshua chapter 1. Y'all know Joshua chapter 1 is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. Moses, so it says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. So the Most High said, here, I'm giving this to you. What you're going to see here is another example of how the Most High gives stuff. Okay? Because again, we've been brainwashed by the mother of harlots, the beast system, the mother of harlots and her daughters, these so-called religions. We've been brainwashed by them to think, oh, you just sit there and act all timid and soft and, hey, can you help me, please? And he's like, oh, you poor thing, here. And that's how we think the Most High works. But look how he works. It says, now therefore arise, go over this Jordan and all this people unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses, from the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea, toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. Okay, he given them this. Listen, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. So the Most High telling them, I'm with you. I'm with you. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. But, what's it say here? Be strong and of good courage. Okay? What does courage mean? Let's define that so there's no ambiguity, there's no gray area. Courage, the ability to do something that frightens one. Okay? He said, be strong and of good courage. The ability to do something that frightens one. Strength in the face of pain or grief. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? Y'all see the number Satan done on men today? I mean, I watch so many men, man. You push them to do something that even remotely challenges them, and they like, you can literally watch the fear come on their face. And the Most High told you to be strong and of good courage. He told you to do it. You have to be strong. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep reading so y'all can see that. Look, I ain't playing around. I'm just reading this thing. Hey, it says, be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only, here he goes saying it again, only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law. So he's telling you to be obedient to this law, and what the Most High laying out, you have to be strong and courageous. And this is what I tell people who are afraid to fight for their blessings. This is what I try to tell people. You have to step out. You draw near to Yah and he'll draw near to you. You have to step out. You have to step out. You see what I'm saying? So it says only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant command thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper wheresoever thou goest. So in order to prosper, this is what you got to do. You got to stand firm on this thing. And y'all, I'm just telling you, man, it ain't like cupcakes and sugar cookies and lollipops all the time. Like, this thing can be grimy. Like, you got to cut people off. Like, you got to be bold and courageous. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. Now, I can't tell you the number of people I watch. They will fight you to not meditate on this word day and night in whatever capacity it might be in. Like, one of the things I'm doing with the brothers here in our assembly is really pushing them hard to communicate and fellowship. Because a lot of these, you'd be amazed at the number of brothers who just, I literally had to make some of these brothers to do it so they could see the benefit of fellowshipping, of communicating and talking. Where your talk is about this word. Because you're out there with the heathens, they're not talking about this word. In fact, Brother Antonio just put a post in here. Look what he found out. He said a federal judge just approved satanic worship in school. This thing going down the drain, y'all. And it's amazing because you actually got to fight with women and men just to obey this word. Like Satan tugging on their heart, tugging on their emotions. Because they're not being strong and of good courage. Now look at this. Here he's saying it again. He's skipping ahead a little to verse 9. Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid. Don't be timid. Neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee wheresoever thou goest. Okay? So there's a whole bunch of stuff to take from that. The fact that in order to receive this blessing, they're going to have to go out there and fight and do some killing. And it's the same thing for you to grow spiritually. Look. Dismay, the definition of dismay, cause someone to feel consternation and distress. With consternation, feeling of anxiety or dismay, typically on something unexpected. Man, I can't tell you the number of men and women I watch. As soon as something come up, immediately they dismay. It's sad. Folks ain't at peace. Something crazy come up. What happened? What? Are you serious? And they like that. It's like, yeah, nah, don't worry about it. We'll either go over it, through it, under it, or around it. We'll figure it out. Be strong and of good courage. This is why a lot of people, that's why I had to do this message, because this is why a lot of people, their blessings don't get answered. I can't tell y'all, man, the number of people, they sit there and I'm rebuking them about stuff over and over again. Do this, do this. Come to find out, this is exactly what they've been praying about. But they're so timid, they don't know how to go out there and fight and get that blessing. Y'all put a 100 up in there if that's making sense, y'all. Let's see. All right, so we got Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." You see that? He didn't say, for we sit around not against flesh and blood. He said we wrestle again. He didn't say we fight. He said wrestle. That's more intense than a fight. Let's see what else I got here. Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." Ecclesiastes, we got Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. It says, well, no, I'm not going to read that one. That was "to everything there's a season," which that's relevant too. Because in verse 8 it says a time for peace, a time for war, a time for love, a time for hate. You know what I'm saying? So this whole thing that, again, a lot of us get led into and get deceived by, where the church wants you to be this so soft-spoken fairy who tiptoes through the tulips and never causes anybody's feelings to be hurt or something, like, you know what I'm saying? I talk about the importance of anger. It's so important to be able to get nice and angry. And it says, be angry and sin not. Don't let your anger turn into wrath. And wrath is anger unrighteously acted upon. Okay? But I had to get angry and sick and tired of my own crap to really seek the Father like I really needed to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, y'all. But in a nutshell, that's what I got here as far as our lesson. Man, I'm telling you, it's quick and to the point. You know, you got to look at in yourself where are you being timid. And let me do this real quick. Let's get real practical of some of the ways this thing looks. You know, you got a lot of, I can't tell you the number of men I run into who are timid in their thinking. Like they don't want to try to think outside of their capability of thinking. Number of men I run into who are timid about going through things. You know what I'm saying? Like fighting through stuff that they need to fight through. Facing up to things. Conflict, confronting things. That's a big one. I can't tell you the number of men who, because pride is a type of timidity where you have a fear of being humiliated. But little do people know, like being humiliated is going to humble you. So you always want to make sure, hey, and nobody, it's not comfortable being humiliated, but it's more important to be real. Like me, y'all know I come on here. Hey, look, I tell y'all the good about me and the bad. I don't try to walk around like the mother of harlots and her daughters. These fake religions out here where they walk around holier than thou, and behind the scenes they raging demons. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. So what are some ways that looks like? Oh man, I'm praying to the Father for a job. Praying to the Father, send me a job. I only filled out one application this week. And I'm wondering why I ain't getting hired. You know what I'm saying? And, or, man, I want to level up. I'm ready to level up, man. I'm tired of working these little piddly jobs. I want to bring in more money. I'm praying the Father send some money. But you ain't getting an education. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't in your free time, you sitting there looking at social media all day, just endlessly scrolling. You ain't doing a damn thing. Oh, Lord, deliver me from this spirit of fear, or this spirit of this. But you ain't doing nothing to challenge that fear. You see what I'm saying? You're not going through the fear. You're not being strong and of good courage. Most and look, y'all, I'm just telling y'all 100. I will say it again. I can't tell you the number of people who I'm sitting here rebuking them on stuff, and it's exactly what they prayed about, but they just have nothing in them to get up and start fighting and fight for their blessing and go get it. It just ain't in them. It ain't there. And then it take me, being me, and if y'all don't know me, when people be on some bullshit like that, I'm right up in their ass. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Making it plain to them and getting their attention, making sure it's plain that, hey, come on. But yeah, y'all, it's just real talk. It's real talk. But yeah, that's really it for today, y'all. Like I said, it was a very straightforward message, no chaser, uncut, 100 proof. Ain't had no baking soda in it, just pure product. You know what I'm saying? Coming straight down the middle. People have to, whatever they want, they have to go after it. And the Most High will make it come to you when you get up and put forth some effort. Again, people, the word has been so hyper spiritualized that it's beyond, like it doesn't occur to people that, hey, they need to do something. They mentally ascend in their mind telling themselves stuff, listening to what they're being told and doing all this, and to actually take action never even occurs to them. A lot of people, it don't even click in their head that they need to do something. Take action. You know what I'm saying? So, just putting that out there. And somebody might say, well, what action can they take? There's prayer, there's fasting, there's seeking the Lord, but also there's actually, depending on whatever you're doing, there's actually doing the thing. So you might pray, fast, seek the Lord by studying his word in order to get a job. But you also got to fill out applications like their autographs and go berserk on them. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't getting that thing, as simple as it is. Oh, yeah, man, it's real talk. So, let me see something. But what I'm gonna do real quick, we're gonna take a commercial break. Y'all need to check out this commercial, because a lot of good feast information in here. So check out this commercial.
Shalom and blessings. Here are some events to look forward to during the Feast of Tabernacles 2023. For those who have a desire to learn and build Israel, building and training classes will be available. Dates, locations, and times to be announced. Do you have a desire to improve your defense and security skills? There'll be classes for those who do. Dates, locations, and times to be announced. Be sure to attend Michael Israel's class this Tabernacles. There will be teachings on diet, health, and wellness, along with testimonies from the brothers and sisters. Be on the lookout. Household Herbs will be offering wellness consultation this year. Date, location, and time to be announced. Straightway Marketplace and Children's Marketplace. Saints and Hears will be set up selling an array of products. Internet access is limited, so make sure to bring cash for purchases. Date, location, and times to be announced. Whether you are donating or shopping, come visit us at Judah's Closet this year. Gather up your donation and bring them to the feast with you. Please make sure that all items are clean and acceptable for your brothers and sisters. We are in need of clothes racks this year. We're also accepting bags for saints to take items home. Judah's Closet will be open starting October the 1st to October the 6th, after breakfast till sundown. Location is to be announced at orientation. If you miss orientation, it will be updated on Straightway Network website. We look forward to praising Yah with you at Midnight Air. It will be held at the pavilion with music and food booths. Make sure to bring cash donation for each food booth you visit. Date and times to be announced. Come join us for reproductive awareness and wellness class. Date, location, and time to be announced. Don't forget about Straight Rock Jamboree. 3 days of activities for boys and girls ages 2 to 16. A parent or guardian must be present for ages 2 to 5. Dress comfortably and bring a water bottle. Chip offerings are accepted. Please contact Sister Ijolie via Marco Polo. Within Straight Rock Jamboree, there will also be Building a Sukkah for the boys, Straight Rock Karaoke for boys and girls, and the Daughters of Zion Tea Party. For the Daughters of Zion Tea Party, dresses and garment attire is requested but not required. Dates, location, and times to be announced. Ready, set, go! Who's excited for this year's Hot Wheels tournament? Date, location, and time to be announced. Also, Saints, we still have not met the needs of To Be a Blessing list this year. All items are still needed. Please call the dining hall so that we know what is being provided as soon as possible. We look forward to seeing you soon, Saints.
All right, so those are some of the activities that are going to be going on at the feast. There's actually more things, other things that are going to be going on there. On top of that, the fellowship and the feasting. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be awesome. Everybody's looking forward to it. We just, right now, we getting ready to, up here, we getting ready to click into feast mode early because we go up there and help out, help get set things up wherever we can lend a hand at on the land because it's a big undertaking, but we're definitely excited about it. So yeah, that's what we got going on. And let me let's do one more thing. Okay, this one here. I'm gonna play this so everybody we can make sure everybody's up to date on their info. Oh, give me one sec. Okay. So let's see. All right, this is a quick commercial, so check this out.
Shalom, shalom, family. Please visit www.straightwaynetwork.com for all up-to-date information about the feast. You have easy access. Just click the feast banner at the top of the homepage. For the saints that are coming, please be mindful that viruses are on the rise around this time of year. While we all trust in the Most High for our health and healing, He has also blessed us with herbs of the field and righteous leadership that promotes taking them. Please go to www.householdherbs.com and stock up on antiviral tinctures. We suggest taking maintenance doses starting 2 weeks prior to the feast, during the feast, and after. Let's make this an enjoyable feast for everyone.
All right. Make sure everybody make sure you ain't coming in slinging all types of illness all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. That is pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to be doing Ask the Elect this Wednesday, so definitely make sure you tune in for that. Still not totally sure what the topic's going to be, but we're going to definitely see. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I got, man. I definitely appreciate all you saints tuning in. I hope the message was edifying. Just looking in the comments, I could tell that, brothers and sisters found it edifying and uplifting. So I'm definitely excited about that. But anyway, y'all, with that said, I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. And shalom, shalom.
Turn that up. Better learn how to bleed the blood of your whole body. Stay in the spirit. Cause Satan could use you if you let him. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Them scripts in my head, they hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win, I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my enemy. Them scripts in my head, they hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walk in the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. He been on my line since a younger was a child. Had me shooting guns, popping pills, smoking loud. I'm the main event, but I was following the crowd. Wish I would've known what I know right now. Mama ain't raised me like this, had her yelling in the house like where in the hell we go wrong. Mama them curses couldn't leave us alone. We made an oath to the one on the throne. Them angels was with us, was never alone. Mercy and grace coming straight from the throne. When this was missing, I made it back home. Mama never had to give me a loan. He had to open my eyes, I had to put down my pride. Boy, I'm so lit, I'm alive. We gon' follow the Messiah. We gon' follow the Messiah. Messiah, I'm a lit. A bought. Messiah, Messiah. I'm a lit. How about some of Messiah? Ooh, you cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my energy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. You cannot win. I see your trickery. We at the end, ain't none of that get to me. Confessing my sin, I'm watching my energy. Scripts in my head, it hit me like Kennedy. I know the devil is trying to get rid of me. Walking the spirit, so that mean I'm killing me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me. Get it behind me, I don't want you feeling me.
Hallelujah. Blessed and highly favored. I love myself as well as my neighbor. Enjoy peace and love, yet I'm nothing to play with. Y'all running with the latest, what I believe is sacred. Our Father in heaven gave us eyes to see, to make distinctions between the psyops and the prophecies. I'm from a place where they downplay your atrocities, give you milk and cheese and never pay the proper fees. My brother's trying to calm the beast by copping pleas, but the only place the beast want the sheep is in his teeth. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, but don't mistake, that's for the sheep who fell away, that's not for you. A wolf knows he ain't in the dark about his plans. He coming for the flock, he want that blood on his hands. Want your throat not to breathe. In the lake of fire, he wants you to go beneath. Praying on you until your flesh, he wants you to sow a seed. Deferred hope maketh the heart sick. Yeah, Satan love it when you deceive. Disparaging remarks about our heritage and false narrative that said there's no merit to what we read, man. That gaslight like a flashlight. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. Y'all need to get that bag right. Wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. One hell of a ticket, pun intended. Don't you say I cuss. We've been through enough, 400 plus. Our time is up. Take off these cuffs. I've been in repentance for this lust. Not with the porn, but I can swipe up an image and feel disgust. What? They think I'm tripping cause I want more for myself. So that even in my thoughts I'm not whoring myself, yeah. Luring myself away from righteousness with my desire. My right hand mislead me, cut it off like Michael Myers. Life is easy, it's just complicated by these liars. Truth is confiscated, to get it you need the God of Zion. They confuse the sheep with disbelief and self-reliance. Took the Father's name off creation and blamed the science. Hebrews never boarded but still became compliant. Mission aborted, some of us refuse to slay this giant. That talking head should be severed off and dead. Bring us Pentecost instead, let's start speaking with tongues of fire. Ain't wanna preach to us, now the preaching coming from the choir. Y'all too corporate, tell me how does a preacher retire? I see y'all done bought the lies and y'all receipt expired. From the Holy Spirit, I don't never want no peace and quiet. The sheep hear the word of the most majestic, wonderful counselor, blessed voice of the shepherd. Meanwhile, all of the goats are disconnected, lawless, trading the promise of the blessed for a death wish.